In this video we're going to take a look at the Artidiag900 Lite, another mid-level diagnostic tool from TOPDON. Stay tuned. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Marcus and this is Tech and Cars. So in this video we're going to unbox the Artidiag900 Lite. It's a mid-level diagnostic tool from TOPDON and it's not competing directly to the Artidiag Pro. We're going to look at some differences. We're going to take the unit out of the box, of course, take a look at the software, and in the end of the video we're going to try this on the Kia Stinger. So let's go. So on the front here you have the main unit, and on the back you have some information about the features, about how many maintenance features, etc. And the great thing about this is that the VCI is wireless, so it's connected via Bluetooth. If you are or feel uncertain using wireless technology, you can connect the VCI with a USB cable to the Artidiag900 Lite. And that should be supplied in the box, of course. Let's take a look inside. And you actually have a case, a really nice case, which is something that is always appreciated when you buy a diagnostic tool. Having it in the car, etc., moving it to different places. A case, nice work, TOPDON. Let's see what's inside. The unit, of course, and it comes with a protection on the screen, as you can see here. And this particular unit has been equipped with a 64 gigabyte microSD card, and they're not supplied with microSD card from the factory. And yeah, nothing more on this side. Let's take a look at the other side here. What do we have here? We have a power adapter for the mains with a DC plug. We have a extension cord if you need that for the VCI. Maybe it's, I don't know, in different weird locations in the car and you actually need a extension for the VCI. So that's nice. And of course the USB cable if necessary, a user manual and a quick user guide. So let's put the case to the side. It was a really nice case. Thank you again, TOPDON, for that. You should have that for all the mid-level diagnostic tools. I think it's worth it. So the manuals. We're going to go through the software in this in just a few minutes. The manual is basically, most of the things are straightforward in this. You start up the unit and there are a couple of things that you need to be aware of, but we're going to take a look at that in the software. So this manual basically explains the software and the hardware. So the VCI is explained here. And you may wonder, where is the VCI actually? You said it was wireless. Well, it's behind the unit. So here at the back you have the VCI and it's magnetic, so it's really cool. Such a great place to put the VCI, and it's magnetic too. Perfect. And then you have a kickstand, of course, on the back here for easy reading. Let's go all the way around the unit and see what kind of connections we have. Here on the side you have the microSD card slot. On the bottom you actually have speakers. You could run a video on this because it's basically a tablet. It's running Android 12. Here on the top you have the power button, you have a headphone jack, you have a RJ45 connector for wired Ethernet, you have a USB Type A, you have a DC plug outlet, and you have a HDMI and a USB-C. So you can charge this via USB-C or the supplied AC adapter. You can connect this to the TV screen, which is really cool. Maybe you have a monitor in your workshop and you want to connect that to the unit to have a look at the diagnostic on a bigger screen. That's great for that. And here is another button, and it's a camera button actually. So there is a camera on the back here and a flashlight. So you can use that to take pictures of the car or a particular issue you have with the car and you want to document that together with the diagnostics. And on the top here you have microphone, and here is a small hole and it says reset, so that resets the unit. And yeah, you have 2 years of free software updates for this. Then you need to buy a subscription. They put a lot of effort into the software development on this one and all the other tools as well. So usually when you start up the unit after maybe a month or two, there's always some update to the different car models and functions. So, I mean, comparing this to the Artidiag Pro, this is a really heavy unit. The screen is a bit larger. This is 9-inch. The Artidiag Pro was 8-inch. Oh, sorry, this is 8-inch and the Artidiag Pro was a 7-inch screen. This has a 10,000 milliamp hour battery as well. And that's probably why it's a bit heavy. It's not on the heavy side, but I mean, it feels more premium actually when you have some weight to it. And the battery will last really long on this one. So that's great. Nice work, TOPDON. Yeah, there is not much more to discuss regarding the unit. We're going to take a look at the software, and these are the accessories, of course, that you got in the box. So the DC adapter, the extension cable, the USB, and of course the unit itself with the manuals. So let's head on to the software. So let's boot up the unit. I just hold the power button here. And while it's booting, let's talk about the specs. So Android 11, 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage. And on this unit I have a micro SD card with 64 gigs. You have Bluetooth, you have USB, you have Wi-Fi, you have a camera with 5 megapixel on the back. You have a whopping 10,000 milliamp hour battery. This unit will last all day. So that's awesome. So currently booting up really fast. It's snappier than before because this is Android 11. The Artidiag Pro had Android 7. The Pro is not a bad instrument, but this is faster. However, this lacks some of the maintenance services that you have on the Artidiag Pro. So I have a Wi-Fi connection here. I always recommend using Wi-Fi on the TOPDON instruments so you can access everything without any issues. So you have the diagnostic icon here, you have the maintenance. As I said, you have 8 different maintenance systems. You can reset oil, throttle, electronic parking brake steering, DPF, ABS, battery management and airbag. The most commonly used, I think, I mean, if you need more advanced or you need more maintenance reset functions, you should look at the Artidiag Pro or the Artidiag 800 or the Phoenix products. And then you have the diagnostic. We're going to go into that in just a few minutes. You have the update here, where it lists all the different updates you have for the different modules. And currently I think this is up to date. Maybe there are, yeah, there you have one and maybe you have something more here that needs updating. Yeah. So there is always something new when starting up the instrument, which is really nice. And you have the 2-year free software upgrades, and then you need to buy a subscription. You have a folder here, you can store your reports and you can replay data if you have recorded any data during a diagnostic session. Library, which means you can have a suggestion for a repair instruction on a certain DTC. So let's see if we can enter something here, maybe a P0008. Let's see what that gives us. And it suggests that you probably need to replace the timing chain, which is yeah, quite a big repair. Then you know what to tell the customer, what to expect maybe. Let's go back into the library. You have technical service bulletins. That means you can get recall information on different makes, models and years, and even subsystems. You can enter that and see if you need to do anything, or maybe communicate that to the customer. Maybe they have done it already on in another workshop. DLC location, it just means a picture of where the connector is for the VCI. Warning light library, if you need an assistance on how to interpret the icon in the instrument cluster, this is the place to go, and here you can get an explanation for the warning light. Really nice, maybe not for professionals, but for mid-level amateurs. It's cool. And then you have user info. You can actually go in here and look at the vehicle coverage lookup. So here you can take a look at we're going to take the Saab as an example. So software type, we're going to choose here diagnostics and make. And it's currently loading here. Okay, so here's the list. So TOPDON, maybe you can improve the selection here. The selection window is a bit small. We're going to look for Saab. As you can see, there are plenty of brands, and the Saab and the model, it's in the 9.5. And basically what you have here for the Saab is only the NG95 and the 94X. As you can see here, you have N95 between 2010 and 2012. This means you cannot diagnose older Saabs with this unit yet. Let's see if there will be more software later on for the older models. I don't know. You can always contact TOPDON and request that they put in the older models as well, because as you saw in the TOPDON Artidiag Pro video that I did with the 9.5, you could access old Saabs there in that software. So I know they can do it. So now you know that. No point of using this in the old generation 9.5. For the NG95, sure. Yeah, in here you have some other stuff with firmware update, VCI management, and system updates, settings, and so on, basic stuff. And since this is a tablet, you have Android running in the background. So you can do like this, you can swipe, and then you can see what apps you have in store. You have the BT Mobile Pro app. If you have a Bluetooth battery tester from TOPDON, you can connect this to the Artidiag900 Lite, and you can test out the battery on the car. So there is a new version of this app, but we're not going to do that now. let's see if I can. All right, let's do it. Yeah, so that's basically it. Let's take a look in the diagnostic. You have different brands. You have all Asian, European, American, Chinese, and since we're going to look at a Asian model, we're going to pick the Kia and the Stinger later on in the car. So I think this covers the walkthrough of the software and the different modules inside the Artidiag900 Lite. And of course, maintenance services, it depends on the model and the make, if you can access all 8 or not. We're going to see in the Stinger what we can do, because in the different modules, when we start the diagnose, we can see what we can do. Since this also have the bi-directional control, we can actually control stuff within the car. I guess we can control things like mirrors, windows, etc. to see or to diagnose if there is a fault with a button or there is an actual fault in the motor, for example. So let's see what we can do when we're in the car. And this wraps up the section with the walkthrough of the software. So let's head out to the Stinger. Alright guys, so we're in the Kia Stinger GT with the TOPDON Artidiag900 Lite, and we're going to see what kind of diagnostic stuff we can do. So we go into diagnostics and we pick Kia. I'm going to do an automatic selection here. I'm going to read the VIN. And it's fast, I'm confirming it. And it's the European market. And I'm just going to double check the information here, and that's correct. I have the 3.3. I'm going to do diagnose and a auto scan. So probably I don't have any fault codes. I know it's a bit disappointing. It's both good and bad when testing diagnostic tools if you have DTCs or not. But in my case, I'm pretty sure I don't have any DTCs. So it's running through all the module now. The car is running because we want to access all the module. If the ignition is not on, we would probably miss out on a few modules. So it's pretty fast. It's 51% at the moment. Going through all the modules we have in the car. Almost done now. So 100% no DTCs. So, I mean, look at that. It's, what is it, 28 different modules, and we can go into a module and we can look at the data stream, for example. The power supply voltage for the blind spot monitoring system module. I mean, this is great if you want to look at some parameters while driving. You can do that, and you can combine the different values as well, and taking a look at the diagram instead when using the car. So that's awesome. Let's pick another one. We can look at the forward collisioning assistant, data stream, target range, etc., etc. A lot of parameters that you will be able to see when diagnosing the car. I mean, this is, depending on the make and the model, you get different level of information and different amount of modules, of course, but I'm pretty impressed with all the modules that the Artidiag900 Lite has seen so far. Electronic control suspension, data stream. We can look at the voltage, G sensors. This is pretty deep. I mean, active hood system, adaptive front lighting system. Let's see. Pretty impressive. And as I said before, you can combine values, you can look at them in real time while driving the car, etc. And the great thing about this Artidiag900 Lite is that the VCI is wireless. So no need for cables. You can actually connect this and you can stand just outside the car taking a look at stuff. And as you saw, there is an HDMI connector on the back, and you can have a screen in the workshop connected to this as well. So that's great. So let's go back. And the hot functions for this car is battery, brake bleed, EPB, oil reset, steering angle sensor and throttle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 system that you can do. The Artidiag Pro, however, has more maintenance system connections, so you can do more stuff with that one. But this feels a bit more modern, and it shows you all the modules, etc., etc. So, and then when you go back to the main page, it reminds you, don't forget to remove your VCI from the vehicle's OBD2 port, which is great because you don't want to leave this in a customer car. One more time, let's take a look here. You have plenty of car brands. Yeah. American. And they are continually updating this with new software. So there will be more brands and models, I'm sure. But if you don't find what you're looking for, make sure you contact TOPDON and make a request. So now you know what it's like in the Kia Stinger GT. So let's go back inside. So now you know what the TOPDON Artidiag900 Lite is all about. As you saw in the car, we could access a lot of modules. And I know TOPDON is working hard with the coverage and adding stuff to all their products. So if you don't see all the things for your make and your model, you should submit a request to them, because they're working really hard. And yeah, we could access really much in the Kia Stinger, as you saw. And I mean, for around 400 euros, I think this is a great buy. You have the carrying case, the AC adapter, the USB-C cable and the extension cord for the VCI. And the VCI, I mean, look at this, guys. It's really nice having this attached to the back, and it just snaps in with magnets. Awesome. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.